I get it. The thought of writing an entire book from start to finish can feel so overwhelming. And rightfully so, because writing a book is not necessarily the easiest thing that anybody will ever undertake. But the truth is, you don't need to block off hours and hours every day just to finish a manuscript. I understand why you would think that, because it's a huge project to tackle while you're running your business at the same time. And too often, authors think that they have to rent a cabin in the woods for a month and isolate themselves from the entire world just to get their book written. But that's not really true. There are tools and strategies that you can use to drive a manuscript forward in small chunks of time. So in this video, I'm going to go through the ways that you can structure your book and structure your outline so that it practically writes itself. But before I do, I'm going to include a link below to my one-page book planner that will help you plan the process, along with my online writer's workshop that teaches you expert methods to write your book all the way to the end without burnout, writer's block, or overwhelm. Even if you only have 10 minutes a day, you can do it. So click the link below as we dive into this video. So let's talk about how to structure your book so that it practically writes itself. Okay, that's kind of an exaggeration. It's not going to write itself. You actually have to move your fingers and engage your brain a little bit. But there are tools that you can use to help pull you forward and help you get through the entire process without feeling like you're bogged down and stuck. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is how to write a really super detailed outline. Your outline is your number one tool for getting your book done. You've got to be able to create an outline that's going to serve you and not make it harder for you to get this writing done. Most people, when they create an outline, maybe they're out, at a restaurant and they have a great idea and they just write a bunch of bullet points on a napkin. If they're really super organized, maybe they do it on their phone or a computer and they have this big list of bullet points that they want to include. When you learned how to outline in school, what did you do? You learned a formatting process. You learned like Roman numerals and big letters and little numbers and capital letters. And it's just, when you learned how to outline in school, it was more of an exercise in formatting than it was in actually using the outline as a tool, creating a useful tool for you to write whatever it was that you were trying to write. I want you to learn how to use an outline the right way. So yes, you need to have bullet points. You need to have overarching topics that you're going to talk about in your book. You need to talk about your stories, and you need to talk about whatever it is you're trying to teach people how to do, whatever it is that you're offering for sale. All of those things inspire, educate, and sell, and you need to be able to include those. So what we do is we start with these overarching topics and we make bullet points, but then we leave lots and lots and lots of space in between those bullet points so that you have space to include subtopics. You include as many topics as you can, and I'm talking like hundreds if you can, because the more detailed you can make that particular bullet point or that overarching topic, the faster you're going to write. Now, does that mean that you need to write a 700-page book? No. Does that mean you need to go over too many options? No. What it means is that you want to get as granular as you can on each topic so that you can write quickly. If you have to sit down and look at a bullet point and think of all the things you want to say about that bullet point, you're going to get a log jam in your head, and it's called writer's block. All the ideas are going to try to get out of your head at one time, and it's not going to work. It's going to be difficult because you have so much to say. You have so much expertise. If you just have an overarching topic and a big old bullet point, it could take you a year just to write one. But if you have the overarching topic and lots and lots and lots of subtopics, and you know what order they need to go in, then you can go through and you can answer each one by one very quickly, 10 minutes at a time, 20 minutes at a time, and you feel like you're making progress. One thing I love to tell people to do if they like to cross off lists, if they like to-do lists, is I say, keep that outline right in front of you, and every time you answer a topic, cross it off, because it makes you feel like you're progressing. Sometimes a book can take months, it can take years for some people, and it's really, really frustrating because you feel like you're never going to get done. But when you can see yourself actually making progress, it's really, really helpful. So that's another way that outline is a tool for you. Now, this is a super ninja trick, and I'm like, I'm wondering if I should even share it with you, but I'm going to share it with you. This is the key to how I get books written really quickly and really, really well without ever feeling like I'm stuck or stopping. This trick is to use questions. Your brain and my brain and every human brain on the planet is wired, it's hardwired to answer questions. If you have a question put in front of you, you have to answer it. Your brain just immediately starts answering it. So what I teach people to do with these outlines is take all of those bullet points once they're laid out and use questions instead of statements. So what does that mean? So let's say that you're writing a book about how to sell your house. You could have bullet points that say things like staging a house, finding a mortgage, or finding a real estate agent. Those are bullet points, those are statements, and yes, you can use those to go ahead and write your book, but it's going to be faster if you turn those statements into questions. If you say, how do you stage your house? How do you find the right real estate agent? Where do you look for financing? When you do that, as soon as you see that question, your brain starts kicking into gear and you just answer the question. It's the fastest way that I know to just zoom right through your outline and get your book done as quickly as possible. So sometimes you just really need to have a ghostwriter or a partner to help you when you just don't have enough time. There are plenty of authors that I've worked with who are brilliant writers. They're great at writing content. They're great at writing sales copy. They have lots and lots of experience writing. But when it comes to writing a book and structuring it in the right way and making sure that it leads the reader through a sales process in the book and helps them overcome false beliefs and then leads them over to a sales funnel, all of those things, they just take a lot of time. And if you don't have time because you're busy running your business and you're just overwhelmed, you might want to start considering hiring a ghostwriter. When you have a ghostwriter, that does not mean that you're just outsourcing it and you're going to forget about it and they're going to bring you back a book and you're going to be done. You need to make sure that you have the time set aside to review and really partner with that writer. Yes, they're going to save you time. Yes, they're going to make everything easier. But if you feel like they're going to be taking all of the work and all of the time away, you're going to end up with a less than satisfactory book. You're not going to be super happy with what comes back because it's a partnership, it's a back and forth. Even though they may be the writer, you are the author. You are the one with the mission and the message and the business behind that message that needs to be conveyed. And you are the one who has that expertise, not the writer. The writer is the one who is an expert in crafting a book, but you're the one that has the expertise in your message. So make sure that you do have enough time set aside. And that might be a little bit of time every week. It might be a lot of time once every couple of months. It just depends on how you work it out with that writer. So don't feel like you have to have tons and tons of time and you might as well write it yourself. But do realize that you need to have a back and forth with that writer so that you can have a really great book. So you already have nearly everything you need to write a profitable business book. The knowledge, the ideas, the expertise, the message. Sometimes the only missing ingredient is that you simply need time to do the writing part. So if you find yourself at a loss on where to start or you're stuck in the middle of the process of writing, I've included my resources in the links below, including my online writer's workshop to help you finish your book even if you only have 10 minutes a day. I've also included a link to my services, including professional consulting and manuscript evaluations to help you take the guesswork out of planning. So click the links below and find all the support you need right now.